Hello. How goes? Hope you guys are doing well. I'm just here starting up my tournament. Alrighty. And it has begun. It's time! I want to win with Tomb Kings. I want to spam Tomb Guard and the healing build. Because I think it's fun. We're up against Martin first. Alright. Yo, yo! Very strong player, but I think we can take him on. We want Putrefying Carcass. So what I think we can do here is basically you play Tomb Kings like a weird vampire counts. Where you just spam this ability. Restless Dead. This is amazing. Now, am I going to do it on Cod Tep? Can I do it on Foot Tep? How cheap is he? You can get Cod Tep for 900 gold. What if, what's the upgrade if I were to take Cetra? Too much, too much. So, I think that's basically the play. We go Foot Tep. And then I'm going to just play the silliest Tomb Kings. Oh my gosh, you can take them for 750. I guess I might as well take Skullstorm too. Now you could also take the Incantation of Protection, but you don't get to use that as much. I'm Tomb Kings. And the idea here is you just have such a strong front line that that never dies. And then you win. And you just capture the points. If they push onto it, they gotta fight Guard and all that. That's very unpleasant. Let's play versus Slaanesh. Alright, first things first, so I want to practice my Tomb Kings versus Slaanesh. So I think that's gonna be the play. Hope you guys are doing well. And yes, I will be Tomb Guard maxing. Tomb Kings are wide vampire counts. They're vampire counts without the corpse carts, which kind of sucks. But where they lack in the corpse cart healing, they make up for it in their lore passive healing. Because unfortunately for vampire counts, they're kind of garbage on that front. They are kind of hot garbage there, sadly. Alright, and yeah, it's going to be Slaanesh first. Very nice. Trizik, what's up? You're hoping for a Beyond All Reason learning the game stream? I really want to, but I have a scheduled tournament. Tomorrow, I don't have a tournament though. But I might want to do campaign, and then on Thursday, it might be my day off. The problem is, I'm just so booked in. I'm just so booked in, man. Alright, where's my opponent, man? Martinez should be arriving soon, but I do not see them. 'Tis fine. Let's just, yeah, keep spamming the Tomb Guard. So Tomb Guard are real cool, man. Tomb Guard are sick. I will need some late game capture weight, by the way. Having a few horse archers for that is definitely amazing. And then, do I want skeleton warriors? Are they even good? Or would I rather have Tomb Guard? I feel like I'd rather have Tomb Guard most of the time. Let's try that. Today's a day to have a little bit of fun. Lazy creator. Days off in this economy? How dare I? Alright, is Martin coming? Is he making his build out of, outside of the lobby? Okay, maybe he was just away for a bit. He only just responded to my picking his Slaanesh. Fine by me, fine by me. But yeah, I really want to see how this healing does. So if you look at the passive for Tomb Kings, it heals 1.2% HP every time you cast a spell, army-wide. How is that not insane, right? If you cast, like, 6 spells, you already basically have like a mini Earthblood, right? Wait, how much is Earthblood? Let me check. So if you look at the Lore of Life, let me get rid of the army blocker. Okay, no, it's a lot more. Because Tomb Kings is 0.2. But still, though, army-wide Earthblood spam is not bad. I think the Lore of Nurgle passive is still worse than the Tomb Kings one, too, right? So I'm hoping my infantry just become insane. Nagash is OP on release, then he'll end up like the Greater Demons. I don't think so. Guys that are OP tend to stay pretty strong. Actually, no. There's a few that get nerfed into the ground, like Gorgers. If they're really OP, they'll get nerfed into the ground. If they're slightly OP, they actually won't be touched, and the nerf will be mild. Greater Demons were never that good, though. But yeah. Let's see how we can do here. Personally speaking, I would say Slaanesh is pretty doomed here. The amount of just raw infantry power we can bring to bear is very high. And while the mask is a little bit scary, they actually just can't kill all the chaff. It's just a ludicrous amount of chaff. Though, I'm happy to see. Maybe Martin has a sick build. Maybe he goes for the double Mortis engine. And then what? Are we screwed? I don't know. And then perhaps we'll also mix in like a double bone giant if we face Charks again. The named ones. Well, Kairos is still amazing. Scarbrand is still amazing. Nakari is not bad. Though I don't think they were ever like super OP. Is there a Greater Demon that got nerfed into the ground? None of the named Greater Demons were like super OP and then they got nerfed. They were all kind of just like pretty decent. And then they got a little outclassed by other lords, but like Scarbrand kicks faces in, man. Have you seen him? Be'lakor is a weird one. Because like there were so few units. As soon as the Warhammer 2 stuff was introduced, he sucked, right? But like that's because Warhammer 2 was stronger, not because of like DLCs. Like Nagash is going into a world that already has Warhammer 2 stuff. So I don't think Nagash is gonna be crazy. I don't think he's gonna be weak. Alright, just adjusting the cooling settings. It's like super hot today. You can see the sun. But yeah. I think if Nagash is like stupidly OP, maybe he'll get nerfed into the ground, like the Thunder Barge. But slightly OP units, like, you know, Stone Trolls were slightly OP. And they're seeing a resurgence now. They never got trashed here. But alright, let's see what is my opponent going to do. Nagash for multiplayer community is gonna suck for the campaign side. Or the campaign side is gonna be a bad power fantasy. Hard disagree on that. Hard disagree. Campaign balance is entirely done through like the faction benefits, you know, the upper limit of a unit. I don't think we have a lot of people. I don't think we have a lot of people that are like, oh man, Scarbrand is so weak because the multiplayer scene put him down, right? Like Scarbrand's a beast. There's no reason, yeah. Like, Scarbrand's just a beast. I think. In campaign, like, that's one of the easiest campaigns ever. Arbol? Who the crap is being like, Arbol? Yes, that guy that's super weak in campaign, just like multiplayer. If they buffed Arbol so that he was multiplayer viable, I think people would complain that he's getting even easier. But yeah, I just don't really see the correlation between multiplayer strength and campaign strength. If you're saying it's too strong, then I guess that's a separate thing. But I don't think that's like a multiplayer thing. Like you have like techless in campaign is just such a completely different story from techless in multiplayer. You know, like Gelt. I really don't see a correlation. But anyways, here we go. But like Arbal's strength in campaign has nothing to do with his stats or his multiplayer price. How come COD tap here? I want to spam this passive. Restless Dead. I heal a little over 1% HP every time I cast a spell. I can cast 30 incantations of Cursed Blades. Therefore, in theory, my army will be very healthy. In theory, my army's 30% more effective, which by most measures, people would say is absolutely OP. Obviously, I won't be able to make the maximum use of this, but even if my whole army gets 10% healing, isn't that worth? Like, who cares about anything else about the magic I'm casting? I get a 10% army-wide HP increase. Also classic, the armor spam. People really just man-tied armor check Tomb Kings, but I think they really disrespect how good Ushapti are in the fight. We'll see, though. I'm ready for my opponent to catch me off guard and maybe do some murdering. No mask. Hysterical Frenzy and Acquiescence, which I don't think is that good. Alright, it's a classic situation. I'm just going to take this first point, and then we'll see. We'll see how things line up. But as it stands, my army is significantly stronger. Ushapti are just good. And then will he take a bad fight? If he takes a fight now, I very much so welcome it. We can get some free Ushapti charges on these guys. A couple devoted marauders are a negative issue against me. They actually just do not matter in the slightest. And then I'm just going to start the army-wide healing. It's that simple. Spam more Tomb Guard. This is the Tomb Guard into the Horizon build. And you can see just a little bit of army-wide healing, right? Just a little bit of army-wide shenanigans. We're going to see some Furies come on in. What are they going to do? Try and kill my archers, maybe. We're going to have some Slaangors making their way downtown. Foot Tap is going to be nasty, though. Got that big old spell cast on his face. Very nice. And so far, yeah, we're getting our first heal of the day. That's good. Okay, now we're just going to see an ultra mega infinity flank from my opponent here. Not too bad for me, though. I think, yeah, we're still doing fairly well. Value-wise. Boys are trading decently, and we haven't lost too many dudes yet. Though, I don't know if I use Shopti actually super cook here. How's the value trading? Slightly bad, actually. I don't know how this works without having Spirit Leech. That's the thing that worries me the most. But I'm just going to trust the process. I want to see how this actually does. Does it cook? We certainly have a lot of these dudes. And you gotta remember, if you're evenly trading versus Tomb Kings with this style, you're not actually doing super great. Because the healing is through the roof, man. The damage is being split across the board. And as long as I don't lose too many dudes, I'm happy. Let's bring in the Ushapti. We're gonna get more Skelly Horsemen. How are my archers doing? Are they even shooting? I don't think my archers are shooting. Well, that's a little embarrassing. There you go. There's my last heal. And then I'm just going to plonk down some Ushapti. And then we'll see how this goes. It's gonna look a little sketchy before it gets good, but trust me, the constant healing will be through the roof. I'm gonna get a sickle little ability over there. Finally routed off the flank. And then I'm just gonna keep healing. You gotta remember, Kotep is healing my dudes through the roof right now. It is insane. Kotep got the massive heals. And then I just gotta keep cycle charging these devoted marauders. They're good, but they're not amazing. And then I'm just gonna get another Ushapti. I don't even have to worry about points right now. We're still fairly comfortable on that front. Let's go ahead and drop down another one of these. I just want to keep healing my dudes. And we'll see if the grind goes my way. Devoted marauders slowly being killed. I think the pace is a little slower than I would have hoped for. But it ain't the end of the world. Honestly, I kind of wish I had Cetra, man. I don't know how this is panning out. Value trading is actually starting to get pretty bad, I'd say. We are going to rout off this devoted marauder, though. Let's see if I can save those dudes over there. And then what I think I really want to do is, yeah, I want to start capturing at this point. I think as soon as we get the point capped, we'll be okay. I think I may have been overconfident, though. Kotep's doing his best. I kind of like the Arc in the Black more, though. I'm not going to lie. Kotep is cool, but he's not deleting faces, you see? Unless this absolutely just cooks everything in the local area. We're going to try it. We're going to get the buff. And we're going to get the horsemen to capture. Because I think, as long as I can keep evenly trading, it's still okay. Yeah, Arc in the Black. Arc in the Black seems to do pretty well here. Oh boy. He got through. He got through. Oh man, no. I think I should have summoned in the extra Ushapti a bit earlier. I don't know how I feel about the Tomb Guard, actually. But we're gonna keep pace. I did manage to secure a point, and I should be able to secure my second point very soon. The army-wide healing. Well, I have some Ushapti doing decently in the trees. Kotep's probably gonna die, though, which I am not a big fan of. Yeah, let's just keep spamming abilities. If I can just kill enough of these Slaaneshi fools, then we'll be okay. This feels way worse than the Arc in the Black, though. I think I might just go Tomb Guard plus Arcan. Ushapti is still doing decent. He's going for that Lord Snipe, though. He wants it. And I think he's probably going to get it, too. Yeah, there he goes. Do I care about him being dead, though? I have a little bit of magic left. Nothing too big, though. Oh, it's going to be a close one, actually. It's going to be real close. Biggest problem being the actual spells that we get. Interesting that when you summon in units, they actually get their healing. Alright, I'm going to have to workshop this, though. I think Kotep is way too bad compared to the Spirit Leech spam of Arc in the Black. I think Foot Arcan is way better. The healing was an okay test, but when you have Lords as exposed as this, why not take advantage of them, right? At least my opponent's kind of out of position, though. Can I get a little bit of a route? We'll see. The Ushapti are definitely really good. I should have spammed them out more. That should have been my first call in, actually. But we'll save the regrets for later. Got a decent rear charge. I also didn't like having more than one archer unit, by the way. That felt pretty bad. Okay, let's, yeah, I'm gonna see if I can pull it back with these guys. I personally think we're pretty dead after losing my lord and all that. That's just gonna be a rough time no matter what. Yeah, the vortexes aren't that good. Foot Arcan. Foot Arcan, new meta. Alright. Trust in the process. I will be able to steal a point. Let's go over here. We'll give him a bit of a rear charge. We are crumbling the fiends, which is good. And also, I think the Tomb Guard, I'll have to play around with them more, right? The whole point of today is we want to try and win with them. GG, well played, though. GG, well played. Let's see, what is this? This is 1971. Alright. Let's get into the next match. Yeah, so the thing about the Tomb Guard is this. Well, okay, Kepler Guard did pretty well. Shopti did only okay. The Archers, okay, one of them got 900 value, so that has to be worth. But I think Kotep is the weak link here. Technically, he paid for himself, and he got a lot of heals off, but the magic wasn't punchy enough, right? Maybe I would do it if I go full Skelly spam against like a Lizardman build. But probably against Slaanesh. How cheap can we get Arcan? Base Arcan is 900. We can get him to 1,000. If we're going mega budget. That's not a feel-good feeling, by the way. I don't think I want to do that. But anyways, I think we'll see what we can do. The bows. How do you counter the Forsaken? Ushapti. So Ushapti are really good there. I think I just didn't have them in the best of positions. Rough start, though. Rough start. If we win our next 3 games, though, we'll be fine. Can't wait for the Tomb Kings content. Just 6 to 10 months left. Hopefully it comes this year. Hopefully, hopefully. You're new to multiplayer. You like greenskins and black orcs. Any tips? Keep taking black orcs, man. Dude, black orcs are hype. So you take like 3 black orcs, a bunch of orc boys, and then 3 archer units, one of them being Rugloods, and you suddenly have one of the most meta greenskin builds of today. And then you just spam boar boys in reserve. Very solid greenskin style. Would it be a good buff for Tomb Kings if they got to choose between summoning regular Ushapti or boat Ushapti? I'd say no. Tomb Kings don't really need a buff. Net spam is good versus Slaanesh. I can tell you right now, if I had Spirit Leech, he would have lost. I think the healing did nothing, man. The healing felt terrible. Yes, Arcane the Black does not have Arcane Conduit. He's actually a fairly mid caster. I guess he does have pretty good stats, though. Okay, 40 and 50 melee stats is kind of insane. He's technically a combat caster. But man, is he so expensive for that. You struggle killing monsters with greenskins. That's going to be the job of your archers. The archers and your cavalry, which tend to be harder to micro when it comes to multiplayer. If someone's going mass monsters, and you really just want to kill them at the expense of your build, I would take Arachnarok spiders. Arachnarok spiders and giants are technically not good at higher levels, but at a lower level, it's easy peasy. Alright. We got B6. Yo! Alright, what's he playing? Where you playing at, son? I got Vengeance. I'm Tomb Kings. I have Vengeance. Vengeance plays to make. I'm gonna see if I can get a good matchup for these Tomb Guard. I want them to work really bad. I want them to work, and I'm pretty sure they do work. I believe it is on me. Tomb Kings have any good duelists? Setra's an amazing duelist caster. That anti-large makes them insane. Setra on a cat. Setra on a cat is good, just expensive. And if we're spamming Tomb Guard, you can't really afford to do that. Yeah, Necro Sphinx. Ever since the nerf, people didn't like it as much. Vampire Coast, Norska, and also Tomb Kings. The mirror match? You mad lad. I'll play versus... Tomb Kings versus Vampire Coast. Is that bad for me? Is that bad for me? I don't know. I haven't played that matchup in ages. I thought it was bad for Vampire Coast. I'll play it though. Skollendir's Cave. Alright. Alright, let's see how this goes. You ever bring Grimgor or Castelor to better? Yeah, I would start with Azag on his big Wyvern mount. Keep him safe. And just Spirit Leech their Lord. That's kind of the easiest play to make with Greenskins. Okay, Vampire Coast. Yo, I think Mass Tomb Guard could actually do really well here. Skeleton Archers are actually pretty good versus Coast 2. I think we have options. Though, the most popular Vampire Coast style is most definitely the Chaff Spam. But with the right tools, victory shall be ours. Okay, you know what? I really want to see where this goes. I very much so want to see what we can do with this. Do I want to bring Cod Tap? Oh man, Cod Tap could actually be really good here. I really want to see what I can do with them. Oh dang. Alright, never mind. I got the sick plays, guys. I got the sick plays. Alright. Ain't no way my opponent wins this. Let's see here. So we got the Tomb Guard spam. I don't think I need as many halberds, so I'm probably not going to go full ham on that front. And then I just spam some of this. And then I believe our odds of winning have increased dramatically. Ooh, Nahakaran Warriors. Yes, I also really want to try these guys out. I think the Warriors can absolutely get some work done. Yes. It is a beautiful build, people. It is a glorious build. Okay. Let's see what B6 has. Triple Screaming Skull Catapult. A lot of people like to take them. Artillery on this map is very sheltered because of the distance. Let's see it. Give me your worst, B6. Let's also take a look at the bracket. How high do I have to climb? Let's see here. Yeah, so B6 also lost their first game. I'm going to have to win 3 games in a row. We're going to have to play our matches quickly. Tomb Kings are not known for their speed, but that's what we're doing. Charex, what's up? We got Charex? Yeah, there he is. What's up, man? How's it feel to get wrecked first game? I got wrecked too. It's pretty rough, man. It's pretty rough. It happens, but the pain, it never goes away, does it? Now the desperation on trying to rapidly win. I'm pretty sure, you know, if you're playing like Lizardman or something, I've seen you get like 6 wins in 1 hour. So, I have full confidence that you'll be able to still make it. For me, I don't know how Tomb Kings will go, but I got a pretty sick play. You know what Vampire Coast really doesn't like? These high damage vortex spells. I'm going to get the Skull Storm. I'm going to get the Sane Storm. And I'm just going to nuke all of their range units. Then we just push a face in with these guys, and then easy win. Yeah, a lot of people don't get Greater Arcane Conduit in multiplayer. It kind of makes sense though, right? Like a lot of abilities don't get used from campaign. So you can think of Greater Arcane Conduit not as something innate to the unit, and more just a way you can level up your casters. Because, yeah, in multiplayer, very few and far between. There's only a handful of dudes with it. Also, it is a Mantide spam. Alright, B6. So, with the Skull Catapults and the Skull Storms and all that, I think we'll be okay. No passive spamming, but I do have 6 Tomb Guard. I want them to cook so bad. They have 5 capture weight, which is technically better. It's more cost efficient than the Skelly Warriors. It has to be good. You want to see a multiplayer mode that just goes crazy with the campaign abilities? I would love if the money you get in multiplayer goes way up, and you can take like actually OP armor sets with lords. You know, get a lord with like 96% resistance. All that business. I think that would be jokes. Classic, we got the Silastra. So if you summon some knights, I can actually just send skeleton horsemen on them. Stop them from being a problem. We got our sick magic. And it's just a bomber gun tide. Nothing too crazy. I think his formation is not moving at full speed though, because he's moving kind of at an angle. So he's actually just going to let me take the capture points from the get-go. Surprising to me, but so be it. And this is it. This is where we take the mass Tomb King's infantry corps. I really want to lean on these infantry corps a bit more because obviously we're really good at playing mobility games. But the infantry is a completely different situation. You can't really rely on them all the time here. Is he really just gonna... B6. You need victory tickets. They're called victory tickets. What are you doing, man? He's just reforming his army. Are you saving up for Queen Bess or something? I don't know what's going on, man. B6 has decided that the points do not matter anymore. And he has better things to do. Like summoning a unit of Morngulls. Alright there. I don't know what's going on. This is some extreme passive play. For an army that needs to... I'm just gonna try and freak him out then. Yeah, I'm just gonna freak him out a bit. And just seem really strong. Alright. We're gonna be like, yeah, I really want to fight here. When in reality, I absolutely do not. Okay, yeah, and then I'm just gonna back it up a bit. So I want my archers slightly behind the points, that if he dives them with mobility, we're good. What's the cast time on this? I wonder, can I just, gonna try and bait him? Can I slow down his push if I do this? Oh, it's undodgeable, okay. Effectively undodgeable anyways. Okay, nice. So, not bad. Half HP off that unit. That's like 200 value. You love to see it. You love to see it. I sense the big fight is about to begin. So this is where you start spamming out the boys. And then he's gonna summon some cavalry to bully my archers, but I really don't think that is the end of the world. For if I can just kill these bombers, he's just dead in the water, man. Yeah, there's like no way. There's no way he stops us. Does completely delete my poor horseman, though. I'll say that part's a little painful. But the disruption is there. The Skull Storm has arrived, indeed. Sorry, I have like a weird jaw thing. Anyways. Alright, not too bad. I guess I'll just keep spamming infantry then. I think we can just out-capture away this guy. Tomb Guard, by the way, do have a little bit of armor. So they can kind of tank that situation. Okay, and he's just going to get a little Crabbo summon. That's not a big deal. As soon as these guys are dead, it really is just... He's just screwed, I'd say. The triple cap is still ongoing, too. He's just going to try and get a Morngul here or something. But if I can counter that with one horseman, he's just super duper screwed. There's a big ol' ability over there. Yeah, and then I just got to make sure he doesn't steal that point. But the way this is going, he's just going to lack the DPS to really end this fight. And steal the points back. I think he was a little slow on the captures and all that. And yeah, it's just a Moringal. Oh my gosh, we just supremely out-capture away him. And of course, we're taking a big fight across the board, so our passive triggers. This is fine. I have no complaints with the way things are going right now. So let's just, yeah, check out a big spell to disrupt these guys. And then it's just going to be the stalling. The forever stall. You can do this to increase the effect area. Get a slightly bigger vortex. Get a summon over here. This is good, though. Tomb King's frontline. Actually kind of chunking it. The power of just, oh my gosh, he's really just forgotten this. That's terrible. And now I'm getting called. I don't know who that is. Alright, but yeah. I think he's just screwed. I think he's just mega screwed. Tomb Guard are very solid. They got the shields. I think they even have silver shields. Yeah, they got silver shields. So they just don't have to worry at all about this. And they'll just march forwards and kill everything. Nice. I too am allergic to bullets. You know, bullets in Warhammer aren't nearly as deadly as you'd think they'd be. Dude, he's just 500 gold down from this. That's so rough that he hasn't noticed yet. You really can't afford to just let a whole Moringal go for that capture. Now, there's not a lot I could, you know, he could do anyways. Even if he chases these guys, I'll just run away. At the end of the day, it's just a slightly suboptimal play to have your dudes there. Because, yeah, we're just never going to give up that point, are we? Nahakar Warriors are pretty hype, by the way. Still hasn't taken it. Oh, my goodness. My dude. What are you doing? Alright, let's get a big ol' Skull Storm over there. And the Moringals, now that they're unsupported, they're really screwed. Holy crap! What is that damage? Oh my gosh! Okay, you know what? I'm a Skull Storm enjoyer now, guys. Yeah, I'm a big Skull Storm enjoyer. That's ludicrous. That's some crazy deeps. Oh, he finally caught my horseman. He finally noticed my shenanigans. But we're just gonna run away. We's just gonna run. And now what's he gonna do? Chase me and not capture the point? Still a very big loss for him, unfortunately. I'd say the Tomb Guard performed okay. Most of them are getting pretty decent fights, pretty good value. But I'm still not wowed by them. Maybe the best way to play Tomb Kings is Skelly spam, but I'm gonna keep trying them. Because I remember a meta. I remember a time when the Tomb Guard were just the best thing since sliced bread. And I want to see them flourish again, you know? The Overcast Skullstorm, dude, that increased area is actually pretty chunky. It's also really cheap. It's kind of like Burning Head. And that does so much damage. Like, what if I just chuck it on these doggos here? Do they just die? Dang, look at that deeps. Holy smokes. Alright. Oh yeah, Skullstorm. In the right circumstances. I don't know if it's gonna cook versus Slaanesh. Questionable. But in the right circumstances. It just eats unarmored units alive, man. Kotep already at the 1,500 value mark. Yeah, I guess Tomb Guard, they really are just kind of pushing the back line. They're pretty good for that. I just don't know if what they bring to the table is better than, you know, your usual archer units. Or not your archers, but your skeleton spears. I kind of like them, though. A lot of people might not be ready for them either. Certainly way better than it used to be. The Skullstorm, yeah. Brutal, though. Absolutely brutal. B6 trying to copy the scrambled egg special type of playstyle, but I think Tomb King's actually just kind of hard counter. Vampire Coast. If you have units that can uptrade the zombies, you're fine. And the Tomb Guard, 600, 400. Kotep did okay. This guy didn't do much, though, and these guys didn't do much. I'm really starting to question if the Tomb Guard were a good call. No chariots. Chariots lose to cavalry, and we're kind of in a cav meta right now. Excuse me. But okay. I'm at 1,000 MMR. So it's like I just joined the tournament. So I'm gonna have to win a couple games, but not impossible. We're just gonna have to win very quickly. Very, very quickly. But so far, yeah, Tomb Guard seem adequate. I give them a hard adequate. How did these guys do? Yeah, they did alright. The Nakon Warriors. They do have quite good capture weight. I'll give them that. Cavalry's so good versus Vampire Coast. Yeah, as long as you don't get them mucked up. Cavalry is sick. Zero points, 7 minutes in. Don't know what their plan was to win this. I think B6 usually doesn't play Vampire Coast. So they're just a little unfamiliar with the strategy. Full Tomb King's monstrous cav rush to win fast. Okay, that's pretty jokes. That's pretty jokes. I like that. It's a Tomb Guard build today, though. Would you guys really be cheering if you saw me do, Would you really be cheering if you saw me do this? Would you really be happy if you saw me go like mega all in on this and get the restores? Do you even win with this? Is this even winnable? Yeah. This is so dumb. This is all my money. I'm poor. I'm so poor. We appreciate stupidity, yes. What? And then what? You get the incantation of protection. Overcast it for 36-second duration. Just spam spells and you heal up with Restless Dead. I wanted to ask, what types of Lizardmen builds work for shooty factions? Like Empire and Cathay? That is the Lizardman weakness. Many a Lizardman main have asked themselves what they can possibly do. Generally speaking, you gotta have some really good Cold One play. Your Cold One Spear Riders, you just have to be really good at Cav Micro. That's just kind of how these bad matchups work. If you do it well, though, it's gonna be fine. But you're gonna have to be better than your opponent. Then there's like a bunch of skink spam you can kind of use, using red cresteds, chameleon stalkers and the like. Those are okay. And if your opponent's not super great, like the build is missing a cannon or something, you can use some solar engines to kind of have that mid-range poke. But realistically speaking, it's gonna be hard almost no matter what. 2 Necrotechs? Yeah, the double Necrotech. And we have a next player. Pope Patty. Alright. I gotta win this. I gotta win. I gotta beat Pope Patty. Can it be done? Their faction is Bretonnia. Okay. We have a chance. The crazy Tomb King single entity build. Maybe it cooks versus Bretonnia. You guys said I needed a fast win, right? Remember to update the win-loss. Thank you. We are 1-1 now. I just got to win 2 more in the next hour. That's fairly doable. We tend to be quite fast. Okay, so how do you beat Bretonnia? Double Necro Sphinx. Double Necro Sphinx. Yes. Oh boy, I'm gonna die. Your Chariot of the Gods got upgraded, right? Do I take Horse Cetra instead? Does Horse Cetra hold up? I guess I need something to clear the infantry. The problem is I have no money. I have no money because this build is freakishly expensive. Okay, I guess I can kind of do this. What's the map? Eastern Isle Colony. Okay, that's actually pretty decent. I'll take pretty decent over many other things. Alright, alright. So we're on Eastern Isle. Let's see here. So if I go for a mass SE build, a mass infantry build should just be garbage versus us, right? So I need something that can deal with the cav in the late game. Maybe one of these, just in case he has, like, only infantry. But first and foremost, I gotta kill cavalry. And we know Necropolis Knights suck. Paper hammer and all. It looks like the right tool for the job, but it does not get the job done at all. I think what we need... Holy crap, is this actually where I run these guys? Okay, guys. Oh, boy. I sure hope this works. Okay. Oh, man. If we lose this, I might not make it to semis, but you guys wanted to see dumb. And I still have Tomb Guard. Prepare thyselves. Dog, what's up? Actually had an AI army attack you in campaign the other day. It had 6 Necrofex Colossus. Dang. That's pretty fun. Did you win? AI is actually pretty bad at microing their SEs. Scorpions and birds. To support the scorpions if they get bogged down. The birds can't fight, sadly. We shall witness. Hyro Titans. Nah, this won't do it. Alright. So this gives anti-large. These guys are amazing. Where's the second Necrotect? Over here. Why isn't he in the main army? Because he's too expensive. But the Necrotects, basically, they have one of the best items in the game. Van Braces of the Sun. They give a minus 24/24 stat debuff. Anytime they land a hit. On the charge, they're getting plus 75 melee attack, so they will hit. Therefore, if he decides to blob fight me, he immediately dies. Cetra and Necrotex will be able to kill all things on the ground. Anything large gets murdered by the Necrosphinxes. How can this possibly go badly for me? Impossible to lose. And then late game I can summon Tomb Guard in case he's like capturing points with cavalry or something. I'd say this is not a bad build though. If there's one thing Bretonnia is bad against, it's SE blobs. It's funny though, usually players absolutely hate seeing this kind of stuff. But you guys seem to love it. I'm just abusing my poor opponent. We'll see though. He has a bunch of dudes. He got the Alberic. And if he gets shot enough by the peasant archers, life will absolutely suck. But we're going to get the Necrotect. He's going to overpush, and then the Catapult's going to bully him. I see no issue with that. Alberic has a few buffs. Nothing that can actually give me pause, though. Let's get them horse archers into business. You mad lad, what the crap are you doing, man? Holy smokes, the guy wants to die. I miss micro, though. So he escapes, but he gets smacked in the butt by Cetra. A fate that leaves me quite uncomfortable. Cetra has a big charge. It's a very big charge. Are you really gonna do it again? I dare you. I just try it. Try and cycle charge me. Now he wants to kill this Necrotect. Honestly, fine by me. Like, if you want to try and kill him, you may just lose Alberic here. He's slippery. And the Green Knight comes out. Now, this guy has magic attacks. Cetra does not. I only have one dude with the magic attack, so we gotta be a little wary here. Let's just plow our way through the infantry like they don't exist, because really, they do not. Okay, and then we're just gonna kill the Green Knight. And then we're gonna go punch his face. Everybody pile in. Now, if this goes wrong, I'm just dead. Just a heads up. But given the fact that this guy is getting absolute taken to Pound Town, I think we'll be okay. Green Knight has never seemed so lackluster. You can see 0 stats on those peasants. Really nice. And then we're just gonna kill Alberic with the power of Bloodlust, etc. And then hopefully I can get some of my skirmishers through to bully the archers. The main thing though is killing the Green Knight. He has to die. Setra's doing alright though. And Alberic's going in. No, he's going out. Alright, just some light tippy-taps from Alberic. Lots of damage though on big ol' Cetra here. He definitely doesn't like that. We are going to get a few terror routes, however. Ah, jeez. Oh boy, Cetra. Turn around, my dude. Okay, we're gonna see if we can bully the Green Knight here. Bring in my horse archers finally. They were a little late to the party. Not my best trades ever. Cetra's definitely taking a bit of damage. He's gonna try and leadership bomb the guy. All right, man. Cetra does not serve, but he may or may not crumble. We'll see how this goes, though. If I can stabilize the situation, I'm happy. Yeah, we're just gonna keep spamming these guys. And then we're gonna get the Necrotex on them. Now, unfortunately, I can't heal Cetra. The guy cannot be healed, but that is okay. There we go. Hopefully the Green Knight dies soon. I kind of need him to die because he's on the hunt. But with the Sphinxes on his face, I think he will. I think he will, though he may kill Cetra. Green Knight goes down. Cetra still lives. He does have the lore passive. I can definitely use that to my advantage. But I think the big man is going to die. Very unfortunate. Let's start getting some infantry here. Oh my gosh, is he gonna live? Cetra really does not... He does not exactly deserve to live. I've been mismicroing him like no one's business. But live he may. For Cetra does not serve. He simply runs for his life. Alberic takes a lot of damage in the attempt to bully Cetra. But I think if we just kind of bring in all the boys. Oh boy, Alberic. You did not want to get bullied there. I think we just kind of bring in all the boys. It's not like they're gonna die. Alberic's getting Helm of Discorded, by the way, which is why he's so lackluster right now. And as long as units are routing near Cetra, does he really have to care? I don't think so. Yeah, look at him. He's having the time of his life. All right, nice. So now we just gotta capture this point. Double Necrotect doing good. Alberic has healed, but he is not exactly a big issue anymore. The damage he has taken is simply a little too high. So what play is there to make? Well, he can try and kill Cetra, that's for sure. Run! Run, Cetra, run! Whoop. Gonna dodge with him. Do you want to land, though? I don't know if he wants to land. And he chooses not to. I see. Is he gonna land here, though? I think he's thinking about it. He's faking it, though. He's faking it. The guy doesn't actually want to take this fight. He knows it's too spiced. So we're just gonna back it up again. We gotta get our debuffs, and then we're just gonna start hammering with the artillery. Cetra will live. At least I sure hope so. He's doing his bestest. And without the support of Alberic, I think the SE fight just goes super in our favor here. You can see he's questioning where he needs to be. Gets a solid wind blast, but you gotta remember these Necrotechs are offering insane amounts of debuffing. Yeah, these guys essentially have no stats. So, I'd be a little worried. He's gonna get one last heal on the Alberic. We're gonna bring in the Stalkers. Punish him for his transgressions. Oh! Alberic takes some pretty nasty hits. I don't think he liked that in the slightest. Alright, nice. So now all I gotta do is keep the big boys alive. Alberic is forced to retreat. The mass SE build It continues to grind. He has Grail Knights in. That's pretty scary. But Setcha once again. Setcha does not serve. Are we gonna get a massive Alberic kill? That would be amazing. That would be pretty sick. If he is to outlive Alberic, who's been hunting him the entire game. Jeez Louise, Alberic down for the count. Lady's blessing is gone, so. Alright. Well, I'll take that. That's solid. Fire on our position. But sir, our men. I said fire. Fingers crossed that goes well. This point is going to get stolen, though, if I'm not careful. We're going to have to back it up a little bit. There we go. And Alberic might come back. Yeah, he's going to come back, but he's effectively useless now. I don't think I really have to worry about him. It's mostly all of this here infantry that we're going to have to push our way through. I am out of heals, too. Important to note. Yeah, and capture point will be secured. I can still get Cetra though. He can tussle. You can see the Grail Knights are finally dead. That's good. Very nice. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and bully these peasants that are giving me so much grief. And then soon enough, I should be able to capture this point. I think it is completely within the realm of reason that we do that. Alright, we got those guys in. The biggest worry here is that I'm just going to lose on capture weight. The Sphinxes are obviously doing great though, right? The Necrotech debuffs are also hilarious, I must say. And I can still heal too with a little bit of ability usage. Cetra's coming on in. He's joining the party. Little lady caster over there is getting bullied. I just gotta support my few Tomb Guard here. As long as I keep casting spells, we know that they'll be okay. Okay, nice. Capture weight is ours, man. There's like nothing left on here. Though I am a little worried about the Sphinx. Cetra's gonna have to make a play, though. Unfortunately for me. If he does not, then we potentially lose out on the ticket race. He's still doing good, though. No minus 16. I'll take that. Alright, there you go. Artillery hammering them very well. This is taking forever to drain my magic, though. It's a little awkward, but I think it's fine. Yeah, and I just got to secure this point. Because this one's already done for, right? He's going to lose his caster, no problem. Alberic's run for his life. He's a non-issue, for sure. And if I can capture this point in any decent amount of time, we're set for life. And it seems like we shall. Oh, yes, we shall. Oh, crap. That's Knights Errant coming in, though. Cetra live! Sphinx of Uzkep. Also, gonna go down pretty hard. I gotta save Cetra real quick. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate circumstances that we found ourselves in. I think the cavalry will show up just in time, though, to save him. Against all odds. Yep, there they go. And then he's going to kill off that cavalry now. I do have a double cap, too, by the way. So I don't think we really have to worry too much. And I'm going to lose a Necrotech, but if I resummon him, I get my heals back. So why not, right? Look at this guy. He's healing up. With the power of the lore passive of Tomb Kings. You'll love to see that. Let's just bring in more boys. And now we play the long game. Because you can't desummon Alberic. He's just going to be useless for the entire game now. That part is what makes life amazing. You can see the capture point does not get taken either. Cetra's having a good time. Though this infantry glob over here, we obviously will need to put in a little bit more work. This is painful, though, for my opponent. I think with the Necro Sphinx, I think that goes fine. Let's go ahead and buff up the Sepulchral Stalkers again. We'll have a Tomb Guard. And I'm going to get the last volley on these Knights of the Realm. Yeah, you can see the damage is high. This one's quite the grind, though, I must say. This battle is really Really going hard here. He's not going to capture this point, not with the Green Knight. So I'm actually quite thankful that we saw that. Citra just has to live. Oh, crap. No, after all that babysitting, he dies? Oh, that's not good. That ain't good at all. Oh, crap. He got charged by some basic Knights of the Realm. No. No, after all that. No. Even the advisor was like, no. Ah, crud. Crud, I think that's going to do me in. If Citra had lived, I wouldn't be running into leadership issues. Now, I still think it's not impossible for us here. But it definitely is going to get a lot worse. Because we're also down the ROR, right? Ah, crap. Ah, crap. No, the memes. The memes, they weren't enough. I have 4 units. Fun match, though. GG. Well played to Pope Patty. The Green Knight, pretty fun tech. First Green Knight summon got a lot of damage in. So it wasn't useless. But yeah, it's over. GG, well played. Woo, man, that was spicy. We almost got him with the meme build. Almost, almost. Alright, let's report the loss. I already reported the game. GG. Try not to lose your lore challenge, impossible. I kind of needed Citra to do something, otherwise we'd lose. He really didn't get a lot of value with Alberic, but Citra also didn't cook that hard. The Sphinxes were hilarious, though. 3,700 and 3,400 value a pop is crazy value. Artillery got 1,350 and a D summon. Very, very close game. The problem was I didn't respect the Grail Knights, though. You can see they got way too much value. But alright, we're up against Ponty. Gonna have to kick Pope Patty. Alright. Ponty. Yo, yo! Getting to top 4, though, is gonna be very difficult now. Unfortunately. But I will still make a play for it. We've invited Ponty, and Ponty is playing Dark Elves. I might as well finish my Tomb Guard exploration. Oh man, what a crazy match though. How does it feel to get wrecked 2 times? I haven't. Dang, Charks. Are you climbing up the ladder again? 2 wins, 1 loss. He's gonna make it. I think I don't have enough time to make it. But we shall see. Don't speak too soon, Charx. What do we face each other? Don't make me whip out the Bone Giants. Alright. Actually, do I take Bone Giants versus Ponty? What's the map? Bleak Spire. Unironically, Bone Giants are not the worst here. Fighting to get the king removed from Tomb Kings. I like the Arc and the Black thing. Bone Giants don't exist, they can't hurt me. Dude, I don't even know what happened that game, man. Oh, boy. Yo, I might take them versus Ponty. Who knows? Maybe we get a sick victory here. Do I take Arc and the Black? I take the Kalita? Oh my gosh. It's unironically not an awful build. As long as you can get the job done, I guess. Maybe I can beat Dark Elves, guys. Non-zero chance. We're gonna use the Tomb Guard to protect. Double Black Dragon. I think if he goes double Black Dragon or a Hydra, yeah. I think he will very much so be regretting his decisions. Is he though? Is he really gonna do that? I don't know, man. Let's keep trying out Tomb Guard. I wonder if they beat Corsairs. My gut says probably not an uptrade, but it can't hurt. And then I can take some of these guys, some capture weight, and what do you know? We have a build. All right. Let's lock in quickly. I gotta win like 50 games in the next 30 some odd minutes. The chances of you getting hit by a bone giant are low, but never zero. Come out of nowhere. Honestly, if they could just get line of sight properly, I think they'd be fine. So, in theory, anyone who takes big monsters versus the bone giant build would actually struggle at least a little bit. Not sure if good or not, but if you gold chevron the birds for 544 gold, they end up with 37 melee attack and 57 melee defense. The melee defense is hilarious. If charge bonus didn't completely negate melee defense all the time, it would actually be kind of sick. Like if you land on top of a unit, like cavalry, and they just can't kill them. It is kind of hilarious. If only they could do any amount of damage, though. Because they'll just kind of sit there until they get charged. In a vacuum, though, I could actually see 54 melee defense kind of crumping Cav. But alright. Ponty has given us the luxury of a quick match. Let us do this. If I can just win 3 games in quick succession, not impossible, then we're good, alright? So we gotta really go fast. Ready, good luck, have fun. I gotta spood here. We gotta go at maximum throttle. Similar thing to before. Kalita, snipey build, right? With the double bone giant. So, like, what's he gonna do, right? The only thing that kills this is a bunch of infantry. That is very common for Dark Elves, by the way, but if he brings any single entity kind of build, if he takes a dragon, alright, this guy is gonna be insta-gibbed. And the hard counter is what's gonna get him to leave the game quickly. And then we're good. And I got Tomb Guard. Because I'm still slightly obliged to try them out. Bone Zone is real. It's arrived. Actually not a terrible build. It obviously has its weaknesses. But if you know... Like, this is a skew build, obviously. A lot of people will say that my builds are very skewy. I don't agree with that fully. But when it comes to this one, this is absolutely skew. We literally just die to like most compositions he brings. Like if he just brings something that is not susceptible to bone giants, we lose. We just lose. But who knows? Who knows? I have 35 minutes to get a bunch of wins. So I gotta win this, and then win another in very quick succession. We must destroy his morale. He's taken a Burning Head caster with Flamestorm. She will not be able to get in range to do such things to my army. We're gonna go for the high ground capture, because clearly Ponty is not interested in that currently. They have a Death Hag. Okay, I don't even know how that plays out, but there is a Death Hag. Are we gonna see some shades or something, or just normal infantry? We're doing it. Alright, Stalkers have arrived. He couldn't have positioned his shades here. He did! They just happened to be there. Alright, we're gonna have to back it up. You know what the double bone giant's good at, though? Boom, baby! Get wrecked, little Death Hag. Get wrecked. And get wrecked again. And I say... Get wrecked again! Check all the spells on her face. She must die. And she must die quickly. That is how we begin. Killing off these Death Hags that he presumably spent a lot of money on. The Bone Giant's going to town on her. And then, we're going to get in these Skelleboys. Now, he's bringing in the Supreme Sorceress. That is a death sentence. Nah, he's going to retreat her. Okay, that's fine. That's fine, then. We're good. You can see she's running. She fears the Bone Daddies. Alright, and I have a decent amount of cav here. They can definitely get a little bit of work done on these guys, for sure. There's a lot of shades here, but I really don't think they're that much of a problem. Sorceress. Gonna be trying to get over there. I have more cavalry than him, and I fancy my micro to be quite good. So we're just going to try and outmaneuver him. Get on top of them shades. And just keep them bogged down for infinity and beyond. Death Hag doesn't beat Khalida. She is actually a decent melee combatant. Fun fact, but the tooltip for once does not lie. Death Hag is about on its way out too. He's gonna chuck out a flame storm, whiffs it, biffs it. Lord's gonna get smacked in the face by the Bone Daddies. She doesn't like it. And then he's gonna go into melee versus one of the Bone Giants. All right. Well, let's get into position to try and kill her then, because she is actually severely out of position right now. Shades are being shut down, but at the cost of my cavalry. So I need to make a play here for that to work out. See the Lord, she's running. Sepulchral Stalker shots up.
One of your units has been destroyed.
Not pretty. Oh, it's not pretty. Every time, man. Every time. It just always keeps happening to them. Oh, no. And there's the plonk in the back. He was not ready. He was not ready for such absolute devastation. Now, if I can get the Lord killed, then that means he gets a permanent debuff until she gets resummoned. I don't know if he'll want to even resummon her anytime soon. If we can just get these Sepulchral Stalkers to kill her. Come on, man. It's just one shot, man. If only this game had better line of sight. Come on! Ah, she's just gonna rout. Alright, well, I can take advantage of that still. It's not gonna be the best situation ever, but... what a ripoff, though. Got screwed by that. His passive triggers, too, at a fairly good time when he needs it. And, of course, we are kind of triple capped here. But, I think we can still rout off most of these guys. A couple Cold One Knights, not the biggest issue. And if I keep spamming in Skelly Horse Boys, then I think we can put him in a bad situation. Bone Giants getting hit up by the Spear Crew, but Cycle Charging is away on them. Very nice. Okay. And Khalida's gonna win the center line fight. It's not going to be a quick victory. It's not gonna be a decisive victory. But at the very least, she rallied. That's actually kind of good for me, I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were dead. Well, that means I can actually get that Lord Loss penalty that I've been working towards. That's kind of funny. This actually worked out for me brilliantly then. Yeah, just shoot her. Come on. Yeah, there you go. Big volley, big volley. Okay. Let's get the Skelly Horsemen in there. The Bone Giants are still giants. They do a lot of damage. Holy crap, did she not die? Jeez Louise's lady, man. I could use a Lord Loss penalty sometime today. She rallied again? What is this Lord made of? Jeez, so much spite. She's gonna rout. Finally, okay, all right. Well, that's very unfortunate. I think we're gonna lose. I think we're gonna straight up lose because I have nothing left. I got the Lord Snipe, but yeah, I'm not killing these shades. Ah, crap. All right, well, we're out of the running. We're out of the running. Did these guys cook at least? The Tomb Guard did okay. Kepler Guard actually did surprisingly bad for how good they usually are. Dude, that Lord Snipe, though, it took 50 years. Bone Giants are terrible in melee. They hit for 400. Their stats are terrible, though, it's true. Yeah, I don't think we're killing the Cold One Knights. Though, they did get a terror route. Bone Giants with a sick terror route. Man, though, I felt like I was spending just an eternity trying to kill that Lord, though. That feels bad. I should have used the same build that I used versus Charix with all the Stalkers. Unironically, would have done better here. But, I was still gonna tussle. Might as well, right? It's gonna need to be a win regardless if we want to make it to the big semis. Oh, man, dude, I actually have nothing to kill the Cold One Knights though, if it's not Stalkers. Kalita at least is... she got a pretty good amount of value actually. Oh man, dude, I just can't kill this. Dang it, man, dude. Oh, okay, yeah, so Tomb Guard. I think Tomb Guard, there's just so many better things you can bring on the Tomb King's roster. Dang it. Dude, yesterday went so much better. What a ripoff. GG, well played. Dang. Double Bone Giant got very low value. I think I actually needed the Stalker spam. Brutal. Brutal. Alright. Yo. Gonna have to kick Ponty. We have our next opponent. And they have a lobby. Very nice. Oh, that was a good shot. Our Tomb King's la bad. I think the Tomb Guard are bad. I think if you go chaff spam, you can get a lot more work done. What's this guy playing? Dwarves? Oh boy, alright. Alright, well, out of the running. I could do some army building with y'alls. Okay, we're playing versus Dowie. What's the solution to Dowie here? Yeah, the Bone Giants were... They almost got the Lord Snipe. I think if I was able to kill her earlier, we'd have a chance. Though I will say those Cold One Knights were much more troublesome than unarmored cav would have been. Okay, if I'm playing versus Dwarves, I think the thing that makes the most sense for Tomb Kings is to just face rush them. Just face rush them. I'm still gonna try Tomb Guard though. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go max Tomb Guard. I'm gonna go max Tomb Guard, and then we're going to take the cheapest Lord possible because these guys are so expensive. I can't even take him. Is there someone cheaper I can take? I can take a Naked Kotep. Okay, alright. Alright, we're fulfilling the prophecy. And then after these guys push forwards and take the points, I think we're just gonna go full stall style. Just a million skeleton spears, and just hope that the dwarves cannot recapture the points in time. A couple Ushapti, and I think that's good enough. Alright. Yeah, if Bone Giants can snipe super expensive targets like that Lord, the foot heroes were actually super annoying though. I had nothing to deal with them foot hags. Yeah, sunken costs. We're digging deeper. Insane build. I really wonder how these guys do. If they can actually uptrade decently, or trade evenly into Dwarven infantry, I'll give them a pass. Tomb King's update would be nice. I feel like if the Tomb Guard was slightly stronger, do they deserve strong infantry though? The general idea for Tomb Kings is their infantry's a little shoddy. What if you keep them the same but you make them slightly cheaper? Maybe? Or maybe I just play Tomb Kings better. Obviously having halberds against dwarves is a weird idea. But halberds do still have armor piercing. Melee attack of 25 is a little ludicrous. But it's all about the grind. It's all about the slow grind. What makes a Skelly Spear so good, even if dwarves have no large? So, they're literally just HP buffers with high melee defense. Beating dwarves can be done just by holding points forever. So, yeah. I get the feeling that the Tomb Guard won't cook, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Good luck, have fun. To good old Naz. We have Cannon build, alright. That's usually a response to the Ushapti spam you see. But we ain't doing Ushapti spam. We're taking infinity amounts of infantry. Just gonna summon them, and we're gonna walk them forwards. 'Tis a simple life. Nothing crazy in the slightest. Spears get better shields. These guys are silver shields. They're both silver shields. I don't know if it was like that in the past, but currently they both get silver. Gonna see the cannons hurt quite a bit. We're just gonna spaghetti line it. This is obviously extremely expensive. The matchup is not good, but have hope, people. I do genuinely think Tomb Kings can win this match. The biggest thing being, I just gotta make sure he doesn't shoot me too hard. Concepts just run into the trees. Get to the safety of the woods. I just have to pick a tree and then hide behind it. I'm gonna go for the closest one. Those flamethrowers, by the way, if they park on the high ground, I'm a dead man. So I have to be a little careful about this position. The hope is, though, is that my opponent doesn't have the DPS to beat this. Boy, does he have a lot of damage, though. Holy moly. March, my man. Hide behind the rock. It's okay, the tree will do. He's gonna get a volley off on the Kepler Guard. Can he stop the endless tide of undead, though? Maybe, maybe not. I think if we start getting a couple of these guys in, they can definitely do a little bit of work. Flamethrowers have arrived. But the march doesn't stop here. And then we're gonna give these guys some physical resist to keep them in the fight that much longer. You can see the panic. You got some artillery to defend. First heal has activated before any units have died. That's good. And the Tomb Guard are actually tanking out the blasting charges half decently. Could be slightly better, but honestly, not the end of the world. You can see. We're kind of holding, right? These guys getting that massive physical resist boost. Really helping them out. And the cannons are not really in the best of positions. The big thing, though, is will I lose my army before I can win on tickets? Because realistically speaking, I don't have that much capture weight. That part's going to be a little sus. What's going to be slightly better, though, my cavalry have now arrived. They should be able to shut down the very expensive artillery pieces for the dwarves. And the Iron Breaker, or the Iron Drakes, are getting hammered. This capture point over here, going decent. Alright. Well, I'm going to get one capture point. And the tickets are still actually reasonably low. So if I can keep up the stall here, maybe we get it done. I don't know. It really depends on the Iron Drakes. Artillery is now shut down, though. Very nice. And then what we're going to do is when we get Ushabti and just recharge these guys. If I can break that infantry with just a sick little Ushabti play, I am a happy camper. Happy camper indeed. Where's my other cav? Alright, pull him back. So we've broken his artillery position. We have the capture point. And we're going to get a sick rear charge here. What's not to love? Kotep can now move out into the open. No longer do you need to hide, good old Kotep. And now we play the capture point race. So, here's the rough idea. Also, the cannons are down, so I can bring a new Shopti. If I can just hold the points and make sure that my opponent does not acquire any of the points anytime soon, then we actually manage to win this, despite the really awkward start. That's all I really gotta do. Because look at this. He's now in a DPS race type situation. What do I want to buff? I don't know, I'll buff these guys. He's kind of in a DPS race situation, but dwarves don't have DPS. That's just not... When the dwarves were created, the old ones forgot to give them any amount of damage whatsoever. And skeletons, I'm not actually kidding. It does take like 3 to 5 minutes to kill a skeleton with a unit of like Longbeards. So That's pretty good. Slayers have a bit more DPS, but they're much more expensive. So they're also kind of non-optimal for this situation. And the Ushabti are getting in. Promising situation. All I really need here is that sweet, sweet triple cap. And once the triple cap is going, we're good. This battle is so cooked. I don't know, man. Unless you mean cooked for the dwarves. That's what the main tie does for you. You just have to trust the process. Like a lot. You have to really believe in the heart of the cards. Because I'm telling you right now, it does not feel good at all to get face, or face charging the dwarven gun line. There you go, couple guard. Are still alive? How are they still alive? Chattery. Cook skeletons. Can I stall this point? I have a little bit of cavalry here. We did get the point, and if I bring all the cav to bear onto this location, I think we can get the capture. And we're just gonna keep spamming skeletons. A true vampire counts-esque style. So now what I gotta do is hold this. So how much capture weight do I really need to get this? Obviously, Slayers just delete my horsemen, so we want to disengage from that as soon as we can. Mitigate a little bit of the damage, if at all possible. I do have another horseman here. And they do have quite a decent amount of capture weight. There's a lot of Slayers, though. But it's not going too bad. I think he's going to take it. But can he hold the point? Can he take this one back? I don't know. He's actually going for miners here. So once my guys show up, I think we actually do manage to take this. For now, though, we're going to want to sit back and relax a little bit. Going to take it easy. And I'm not going to let myself die. Pure face the foot, yeah. They're actually, it's pretty good for Slayers. All my initial Tomb Guard are so dead, though. The only ones that are alive are like a couple halberds. I guess their melee defense is actually really holding up well. I wonder if they actually did well versus dwarves here. It's hard to tell. And you know what? I kind of like them. Though realistically, Ushabti are better. The cannons are dead, right? So you go for the Ushabti instead. Gonna get a cav unit on him. And okay, how are these Slayers gonna do? He might lose this point if he ain't careful. Miners with blasting charges not doing the bestest in the world. Oh my gosh, we're actually taking this? Well, how do you do? Alright. I'll give it a... We have a chance out of 10. Artillery will go down. And now the dwarven scramble begins. Stubby legs shall be the downfall. I can get Kotep on the point too. These Ushabti just shut down all infantry. There's no getting on the point. Artillery's going down. Capture point number 2 looking decent. Iron Drakes are dead. And there's the capture weight. Very uncomfortable situation for him to be in. Because, yeah, that point's not getting stolen anytime soon. And he's going to be triple capped. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to win with the max Tomb Guard. Tomb Guard max. New meta unlocked. I do think his build had way too much range, though. I think if he took a little bit more melee, then it would just come down to whether or not the Tomb Guard can actually fight. Which I don't think they can. But I'm honestly a little surprised. I thought we were kind of dead in the water. I'm not gonna lie. It felt bad watching my mid-tier infantry just get deleted by a flame cannon. Cannon is dead, and it immediately starts shooting. Okay, one of the cannons came back pretty fast, but other than that, not the worst. Big play for this point is still underway, but look at that. Ushabti killing it. We got more on the way. And no one wants to actually fight the dwarves, except for the skeletons. Because otherwise, it's going to be down trades for days. Alright, let's just get Kotep back. I'm pretty sure if, yeah, I just keep hunkering down on the points. We're good. This isn't going to get captured, but I might as well vote them off. Actually, nah, let's go here. I feel like I really do want to make sure this point doesn't get stolen. It's all about having just enough capture weight so that you don't lose the point. Because then your opponent's just in a bad position. They're just in a bad, uncomfortable, losing position. Because they just walked all their units onto the point. They sacrificed everything in the way of positioning. And that loss of advantage shall be their downfall. As you can see, value trading is back on the table for us. And then I do the same thing on this point. Epicness, yeah. Dude, I literally just ignored his flying units. His Gyrocopter just got 1800 value. I honestly don't even know how this went so well. I thought we were mega dead. I can hold that point, though. I ain't losing it. Just enough. Okay. These guys have no capture weight, alright? We actually almost lost a point because CA nerfed Skelly Spears to only have 2 cap weight. So they're actually really hot garbage when it comes to that. But who cares, man? They're cheap. Alright? I can take an infinite amount of them. You think Naz lost this battle more than when you won this battle? Obviously, I spammed Tomb Guard. But you still have to make sure that you play your points well. It's true though. I think if he went for a more conventional build, bunch of dwarf warriors and some crossbows, I'm literally never up trading versus army. You can see even with the max artillery, I'm actually kind of running out of units too. It's not the prettiest situation. We did it though. We did it. So I'm going to I might be able to get 3 wins, but with 3 losses, that chunks my MMR so hard, it does not matter. Though I am interested to see the top 4. Crazy game. How'd the Tomb Guard do? Terrible. Wow. Normal Tomb Guard did a bit better. Halberd guys, yeah, they kind of just got shot up. Kotep got the massive 3 value. Okay. Oh boy. Oh jeez. What a wild build. Max Tomb Guard. Imagine if he hadn't brought cannons or iron drakes and just slammed a couple more gyros. The gyrocopters, I was pretty blobbed up too. I think he could have gone some sick bombs. Anyways, we're in the pits though. I don't think we're making it. I don't think we're making it. Yeah, we're mega in the pits. Big B's has 4 wins, by the way. Martin with the 3. JM Driver, never heard of them, but they got 3 wins. Pope Patty's doing well too. But it's a tie, actually, between Pope Patty and Charix. However, they are facing each other, so that will determine how that goes. More miners with blasting charges, yeah. I'm starting to think maybe people are right about Tomb Guard. Dude, I thought Tomb Guard would be sick. I thought it was going to be the hidden tool. Turns out I should be spamming Skelly Spears and Nehekar Warriors. Was a prize pool. So this is just a qualifier tournament for the main event. Turin will likely be having the grand finals sooner or later. And usually there's a prize pool of a few $100s. Like $200 to $500 usually, depending on donations. It's nice. It's like a solid, you know, little bit of encouragement. But by no means is it it's not StarCraft money. Definitely not League of Legends money. Are we making it? Yes. So I'm actually, I am guaranteed to make it to the top 16 qualifiers. So that's why I'm not super hardcore gaming. Having a bit of fun, learning what units are good, which ones are bad. League unranked to challenger when. I think highest I ever got was like, what, platinum? Maybe high gold. As a very okay League player. But yeah. Yeah, do keep an eye out. We did win the last Mega Grand Finals. So that was pretty good. Can I win it again, though? I have a lot of factions that I'm quite strong with. I think my Norska and Chaos is probably my strongest. And then we have some really nice counter picks like Wood Elves and all that. We're up against Ponty again. Nice. Yo, yo. All right. Let's do this. All right. All right. He's playing Dark Elves. We're on Blood Grove. We're going to get the vengeance, okay? At the very least, if I can beat Ponty with the Bone Daddy build, I can die happy. That's all I want, man. That's all I want. So what we do is we get the... Yeah, you get the extra damage with the Kalita. And then we get the Lore of Light. I'm not even going to use a screen blocker, man. We're going all in. We get the double bone giant. This map is very wide, very open. Then I have 300 gold for these two abilities. And then... then we take the Sepulchral Stalkers. He's going to be spamming a lot of cavalry. So how do you beat Cold One Knights? I think you just straight up take Ushabti and just face charge him. And hope for the best, I guess. Is that it? Is that really it? Like, you can take a couple of Ushabti Great Bows, maybe. What, do you use monsters? I don't want to use monsters. Oh, boy, I'm a dead man. Alright, well, fingers crossed the Sepulchral Stalkers cook. I'm doing it! I'm just gonna try and do the same thing I did to Charks. Draw him into a bad position, snipe everything expensive, and then the infantry die to the Stalkers, man. 0 units? I have 2 skeletons, which make up more than half of my actual entity count. This will be glorious. I may not be able to make top 4, but I sure as hell can deny Ponty from top 4. I don't think he would have made it anyways, though, if he's facing me. Got an admin. All right. Here we go. Alright, there's no way this loses. Alright, ready? Good luck, have fun. Alright, Ponty. Give me your worst. Getting called again. Oh my goodness. I gotta take this call. And I'm back. Alright. Just condo stuff. Condo stuff. But I'm busy working. So I'll figure it out later. Alright. It's the same build. But for me, it's different. Screw the Tomb Guard. Screw the Tomb Guard. I'm playing a real build. We're playing a real build now. I'm gonna shoot the hag. I'm gonna shoot the dread spears. Stalkers, really good at punishing my opponent's overextensions. And then I'm gonna get another stalker. Because Shirley does not have the cavalry. Shirley does not have the cavalry to bully them. And then the bone giants are just gonna plonk away there. Okay, so how does this work? So he's shooting at Kalita, which is actually a bit of a misplay. Yeah. Oh my gosh, what the crap? Alright. Flat maps for the win. That just deleted those poor guys. Are you kidding me? Alright, so shades are looking a little worse for wear. That's pretty solid, I'd say. We got more stalkers at the ready. And then he's getting too close to the bone giants, so they're just gonna turn, wheel around, and bully his lord a bit. Very nice. Got some stalkers cooking. Looks like the shades just booked it. I don't blame them. That was a very painful initial volley. Very nice. And then that should rout off these guys. Solid. All right. Well, okay, pretty decent so far. Oh, crap. He's been dodging with his lord. All right, well, that's a little unfortunate. This, though, shouldn't go too bad. It's just Dark Riders and one Cold One Night. Should be able to bully that pretty well. And then we're going to get a... Yeah, we're going to get a new Shopti over here. And then... Alright. I just got to dodge the shades, I think. It's not going to be pretty, guys. I'm telling you right now. We'll have some Skella boys here. Dude, he's just walking forwards. He's just walking forwards. Alright, guy has no brakes. The range superiority is definitely painful. Though it's not as superior as one might expect. You can see the Ushopter actually seriously cooking his cavalry right now. I can get another Shems on those poor shades too. I think if I can just beat them up, it's fine. Plus the Bone Giants, you gotta remember, they got that sick terror, right? He's gonna cast a Flame Storm on the little Skeletor that is very inconsequential. Okay, nice. Kalita's doing good. I'd say this is okay. Not having any skeletons is a little sketchy, but otherwise not too bad. The shade accuracy is actually really hurting him too. And then now if I just spam Ushopti, I think he's a dead man. It's really gonna depend though. Cold One Knights are doing pretty good here. I do have my Ushopti cooking decently hard. Bone Daddies are getting a decent amount of damage. I'm just not going to waste time shooting his lord right now. There's honestly just not much of a point at all to do that. And instead, we're just going to kill the shades, which I think are the much bigger issue. Very nice. And then as long as the Ushopti stay alive, I think we're good. You can see the value trading is actually going really well for us, too. Very nice, very nice. I have to beat a second person with this build. There's the passive trigger, though. And a burning head. And it's certainly not over just yet. Alright, so we got some Dark Riders over there. I think it's all going to depend on how the Bone Giants do. I don't really have an opportunity to snipe his Lord either. Oh my gosh, dude, this passive is so brutal, man. The passive is so brutal. Yeah, I don't think we're winning this. Dang it. Ah, the Cold One Knights are too good. Alright, Ponty's earned it. Unless I get a Mega Snipe on his Lord out of nowhere. If there's one thing that can always potentially win you the game, it's that sweet, sweet Lord Snipe. So we're gonna go for it. He's looking, though. Ah. Yeah, we ain't winning this. We ain't winning this. No, the trees. Ah. Yeah, Dark Elves are just... The Cold One Knights compared to Tzeentch is such a game changer. And then their infantry is just way scarier. Brutal. Dang it. It works so well against Tzeentch too. Shoot up. Ugh, he gave it to me. He gave that one to me. Did these guys cook? Dang, the ROR didn't actually cook that well. I don't know how I feel about these guys. Ah. Dang it. We're the Zongors and Forsaken, man. Ah, GG. Well played. Alright. Well, it was fun meeting. GG. Well played. Tis life. Tis life. Alrighty. Alrighty. Yeah. Yeah, it's just not gonna do well if he's really paying attention for it. That was the second time facing the build, too. But at the very least, we'll have top forcing. And then we can watch some real factions. Dang it, though, man. Alright. I think Tomb Kings, we can't meme with them. I'm gonna have to... If I gotta win with them... If I'm gonna win with them, it has to be like an ultra tryhard. Gonna need some Arc in the Black action, and so on and so forth, but yeah. Tzeentch is favored into Tomb Kings in land battle. I don't think that's true in Dom. It felt easier, unless they take the... Well, I don't know. The only reason I feel like this is sus is because the infantry is so good, and the cavalry being armored means I can't take Skelly Horsemen. But maybe just some basic spell casting would wreck our face. Alrighty. Sorry, 1 second, guys. Whoop. Alright. Who is gonna make it to top 4? Let's see here. Okay, interesting. Apparently B6 is getting some weird bot errors. Yeah, I might need to do some bot fixing, but yeah, we'll be okay. Okay. Sorry, there's a lot to manage right now. Okay, how'd the Bone Giants do? Terrible. Terrible. Stalkers are not bad, though. And then I'll get this bot fixed later, but for now, what are we looking at? Looks like Big B's, Charks made it back, man. Martin and JNM Driver. Okay. Let's see here. It did. All right. In your testing, you've seen Halberds beat Corn Chosen plus Chaos Spawn stacked. Which Halberds? There's no way the Tomb King's Halberds beat Corn Chosen. That is impossible. Surely you're talking about different Halberds. Jade Halberd. Oh, a Jade Halberd? And you're saying a Jade Halberd beats a Corn Chosen plus Spawn. I don't think the stats work out. I guess the armor, maybe? You missed a comment? Oh, Might of Heaven and Earth spell. Oh, yeah. As long as you're sitting in infantry, that's kind of how it goes. Alright, what is going on here? Let's see. Map is... Oh my gosh, there's some coding problems I gotta do. Okay. Alright, yeah, it just looks like some weird problems with the draw action. With the bot. If you ask for a draw, it does not appreciate it. Where is this happening? Yeah, okay, yeah, there's an error going on. Alright. If result equals... Oh, I see what I'm doing wrong here. Okay, yeah, I can fix that. Anyways, we're just waiting for top 4. For now, take your time to relax for a second. Yeah, I gotta fix this. I gotta fix this. Oh, dang. Is Ponty gonna make it to top 4? I think Ponty might make it to top 4 off of just farming me. That's pretty hilarious. Okay, it's gonna be Big B's, Charix, Ponty, and J and M Driver. Dang. Alright. Alrighty. Ponty. Making it. Climbing up in life. Let's see here. Okay, so I just gotta fix this thing real quick and then we're good to go. 1 second. Okay. Player equals. Yeah, player. If current opponent is not equal to none, then op name equals. Oh wait, that still doesn't work. Ah, crap. Okay, I'll just leave a note to fix it. Let's focus on the tournament. Trying to get the name in 3, 4, 4, then error. Okay. Alright, what are we looking at? Big B's. It's gonna be Big B's versus... let me see here. Big B's versus Driver. Charix versus Ponty. At Big B's versus at Driver. At Charix versus at Ponty. Okay. Let's do this. Spec slot, please. Wonder what Charix is playing today. We shall see. You've seen Jade Halberds delete heroes in 20 seconds with the spell? Yeah, Might of Heaven and Earth. So, if you look at the spell, if you go to Grandis Cathay, where they at? There you go. If you go to Grand Cathay, you can see really good armor piercing value. Might have having an earth, if you spell amp it, you can get it to just ludicrous melee attacks, so they can punch through stuff like Sigvald and all that. And if it's against something large, it just insta kills them. The problem is getting a 28 speed unit on top of what you want them to kill. But technically, they can cook in the right circumstances. Yeah, getting ego yesterday and going 2-4 today. Dude, today was a disaster, man. The Tomb Guard did not cook as well as I thought they would. Got the reanalysis on the on that whole situation. Oh, there was a tie. There's a tie? Oh, crap. Alright, there we go, more adminning. And we have a spectator slot open. Let's go ahead and join that. Today's busy, man, lots to do. No Arkan today? Yeah, no Arkan today. I think Arkan the Black was actually way better than I thought he would be. After cutting him, everything felt sucky. Barona's Time Warp, the Tomb Guard, holy crap. Yeah, the memes. Yo, we almost beat Bretonnia, though. I think I was slightly behind for most of the game, but it was actually quite competitive. And what is this? Norska versus Chaos Dwarves? Okay. Very nice. Let's see here. So how is this? So there was a tie. Yeah, there was a tie. Interesting. Both players had 3 wins and 2 losses. And the MMR was very tight. Interesting. I've noticed the MMR, yeah, it tends to fall under similar values because not that many games are being played. So it's not impossible to have a tie. But such is life. I will get it fixed for next patch. Life is too busy right now, man. If you want to get real spicy with it, you can cast it on Longmas. I guess. Usually, the reason I always knock on buff spells is because the hard part is getting into the fight. Like, Cold One Knights will do well if they get into a fight against large units. You know, like, the unit's just good there, right? But, like, they're gonna get shot by artillery, shot by crossbows. And most spells that make you better at fighting don't help you get into the fight. Unless it's like the greenskins, where it tends to last a long time, and usually they find themselves in cavalry duels very often. Then you could just chuck like Fists of Gork, and then life is great. With other spells though, with an 18-second window usually, it's like eh. Especially when you're casting it on something expensive too, that should be doing well anyways. You're just turning a bad unit into an okay unit. Or even a bad unit into a good unit isn't amazing. You need to turn a good unit into an amazing unit. That's where you really cook. The greenskin buffs are kind of insane. I guarantee you, if you give the greenskin magic to any other faction, they won't use it. Except for dwarves. I'm telling you right now, though, a lot of factions will like other stuff more. If the River Troll hag costs as little as an Orc Shaman, I think we would see more River Troll hags too.
I would throw your lives to the
But we won't know
mercy of
unless,
God, if it
it's
please.
hard to know. It's hard to know for sure.
You are fortunate then that I need
Anyways,
you
Norska
alive.
versus Chaos Dwarves. What are we looking at here? Supreme Sorcerer of, or Sorcerer Prophet of Fire. We got the Burning Head. And weirdly enough, we got the Blood Chalice of Darkness. So this ability makes him heal anytime a spell is cast within range. Which I think I know what this is for. It's a Spirit Leech counter. For those of you that don't know, Spirit Leech has a 100 meter cast range. This thing activates at 100 meters. So he's gonna heal if you Spirit Leech him. And that basically means you can take a Foot Lord that's not going to be at risk of just dying. It's not bad. It's not bad. He's going to walk on forwards. His points are going to get captured, but this is kind of an infantry corps versus an infantry corps. I really do wonder how this is going to pan out. This Fimir here. Okay, wait, that's actually kind of crazy. Also, by the way, Final Transmutation, also 100 meters. This thing will heal, what, like 8% of his HP? That will actually help him survive some Final Transmutation shenanigans. Chalice is bugged and it activates if the enemy casts anywhere on the map, as long as any unit is within 100 meter range, including friendlies. Interesting. If it's bugged, I can take a look at it. When Final Transmutation is cast, if it's outside of range, we can see if he gets healed. If it's bugged, though, it probably needs to be banned. Because, well, you know, maybe not needs to be banned, but I think it probably would be banned. So I'll keep an eye on it, don't you worry. So far, though, Norska's actually really respecting the Dwarven position. Deciding not to go in. I guess the Hobgoblin Archers are just providing a little bit too much pressure to march into the stout Dowie line. Though the Fimir should be quite strong. I think Chaos Dwarves used to always bring that. Yeah, and it was nerfed because people said it was too strong. So if it's literally still working, that would be kind of silly. I don't know, we'll see. So far, though, a little bit of a catch. Some doggos. Some Norscan Ice Wolves catch some Hobgoblin Raiders. That's actually pretty bad, by the way. These guys are rather expensive. At 500 gold, you don't really want them to die. Norska with their exquisite melee capture weight, too, still in the middle. But so far, it's kind of just like a normal fight. They're just kind of pushing into each other. Okay, and there's the Final Transmutation. So he was in range, though. So he got the heal, but he was in 100 meters. So we can't know. We can't know. I'll test it out with... I'll test it out in quick battle later. There's the Final Transmutation, though. Could die, taking a little bit of deeps. Given that that was a lot of Winds of Magic and only 300 value, not super great. You can get 300 value with one Searing Doom, technically. So not exactly the best situation for Norska. How viable are build-up strats for greenskins? Excuse me, considering you get max value on the WA that way. WOG is basically always triggering anyways in my book. It's true, though, you can get one Mega WOG. But I think greenskins don't benefit from it that much. Plus, they suffer from chain routing. And build-up strategies are not the best versus chain route factions. But I would say it's okay. I'd say it's very okay. And definitely some factions are just weak to build up, so there's that. I will say, though, I do like this Norska positioning. Why does he not fight here? That is not a misplay. This is an intentional choice, as you can see by the move commands. Classic Sun Tzu, right? Ignore them where they are strong, fight them where they are weak. And he's using his better mobility and stronger positioning play to just really hammer this location, while most of the melee units are doing nothing. Very solid play from the Norskins. Look at him go. The damage is pretty good. I will say, though, Kadai versus Fimir, who's winning. 340 value over there. Fimir with support. 550. Not bad. We'll see if that fight continues to go well, though. As the Kadai are pretty strong. Bull Centaur support will be massive, too. One Kadai, though, goes down to the massive Marauder Hunter volley. Actually, pretty crazy. I like this tech. Armor-piercing axe throwers. Doing pretty well. But the Norskin mobility is good. Finally getting into that cookie jar. They have collapsed in. They have a massive value lead, having fought for so long over here. And now that the Chaos Dwarf lines have pushed up, now Norska's actually taken the fight. The archers are not really supporting here, so they will be able to win that. There's another cast. Was that in range, though? Okay, it looks like it was, because this thing's recharging. Or yeah, I think it was in range, but anyways, I'll check that later. So far, so good, though. Transmutation was cast. I believe it was in range, though. 100 meters is actually pretty decent. And what are we looking at? So far, not much. A little bit of a burning head. Chaos Dwarfs are just falling behind, though. Here's the problem. The front line kind of opened up, and now the archers are dying. Each one of these guys costs a little over 400 gold, I believe. So losing them is very, very bad. Now, they have gone most of their value, but because the Chaos Dwarfs are behind, they need to squeeze just a little bit more out of them. Damage ain't looking... Yeah, situation ain't looking too good, right? Seeing a collapse over here. Kind of a slower paced match, though. They kind of just walked into each other, and the Norskins just took a nice, long, grindy fight over here. And the Chaos Dwarfs just really aren't making too many plays, right? Like, they haven't actually done anything to get a big amount of a value lead, maybe a couple burning heads, but they were really just relying on their infantry to carry. And most of the time, this is how infantry builds work, where if you just bring the better build, infantry trade very consistently, and they don't have too much to micro. Obviously, a lot of micro plays were made, but if the enemy build is just a little stronger, there's not a whole lot you can do. Popo are coming. Shut down this massacre. But yeah. Kind of rough. Didn't see multiplayer since Tides of Torment released. Did High Elves perform any better? High Elves are doing better, but they're far from a meta faction right now. High Elves are a very okay faction. The Water Elementals help them in a few matchups, but they're not like... Definitely not Destroyers of Worlds. Yeah, no choo-choo. Very true. Yeah, a trainless Chaos Dwarf build. Surprising. Actually leaning very heavily on the Kadai. But that shall not be enough. GG. So the win goes the way of the Norskins. Take a look. Norska. That's, what's it? Fantastic over here. Let's see here. Let me just message them. Oh, that's Big Bees. Okay. Yeah, Big Bees is pretty scary. Didn't recognize the name, but yeah, it's Big Bees. Let's see here. Yeah, just generally solid counter picking, right? The Femir don't take any damage from these archers. You can see even though they use most of their ammo, or all of it, they only just barely paid for themselves. And then he got a big backline dive, and then otherwise the units are just better, right? There's a reason why Norsk is top tier. Well played. Alright, real quick though. So, someone said that as long as an enemy unit is in range, this ability triggers. So tell me if I take this guy. And he has allies in range, right? So let's let's just take contact with all of this. So if he has a support caster nearby, and let's say this unit, and I cast a spell, if he heals, then it's bugged. Yeah, Chaos Dwarves aren't dominating very much. They're an okay faction. Maybe I should play Chaos Dwarves. Have a big old chowie day. What about Norska? Norska's top tier now. Chaos is also very high tier. And Slaanesh is also very strong. Everyone but the high elves had a good time. Alright, so let's take a look at this guy. So, is the game bugged? Okay. His thing did not trigger there. So let's move this in. Double Dreadquake Mortar. Always very fun. Enemy spell cast within range. Oh, are you mean like, do you mean like if the spell is cast on a unit that is within 100 meters? Oh, I see. It's not based on the caster. It's based on the infantry. I think that's technically working as intended, though. Because that's what it says. For the first time in my entire existence, the tooltip is actually correct. Enemy spell cast within range. Technically, I guess it can be interpreted either way, though. But let's see. Let's see. See, tell me, if I cast a spell outside of the range where we get caught, it can be cast anywhere. I literally tried that earlier and it didn't. That's not what happened. I don't know what to say other than that is not what we saw. Let me see this. Okay, so that one triggered even though Ka-Tep is in range. Unless I just missed it. Maybe I missed it. Let's pull back. I swore I cast a spell earlier and it didn't trigger. So that was if Ka-Tep is in range. The unit. With the unit in range. What do you mean with the unit in range? I just need an enemy unit? Okay, okay. Enemy unit then. Let's see. This is the last thing. Yeah, we didn't test this. So, enemy unit is in range. The ability is showing as red. So if I cast this on this unit, does it go? It does. There you go. Okay. So as if units are in range. Oh, that's hella bugged. Alright, well, I'll get reporting. Ah, dang it, CA. Yeah, you guys got it right. Alright, nice. Well, I'll report that to turn. If a spell is cast, as long as any enemy unit is in range. Brutal. Well, I'll get that reported to CA. Honestly, I personally don't think Chaos Dwarves need the restriction. But usually the way Turin does it is he doesn't like bugs very much. Let's see here. This ability triggers if any unit is in range when a spell is cast. Any enemy unit. Title. Explains it all. Okay. RIP. Well, that's kind of rough. At least it's not super meta. People going for that guy. But yeah. Okay, what are we looking at? Oh, crap. Okay, there we go. Got the blocker. I think we have the match. The finals. Is this it? Versus Ponty. Did they not start yet? Are you sure it's not coded to activate if the target or caster is in range? Yes, yeah, it works if the caster and the target are out of range, which is not how it's supposed to work. But yeah, you just have to be within range of an enemy unit, which is like super duper easy. You think some factions already get similar buffs to greenskins, but they don't really use them? Like bruisers, with the plus 24 buff and Patriarch slash Consultant. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of factions that have decent buffs that don't really use them. I know like someone mentioned Harmonic Convergence, but even that isn't really used too much. Could the item also be reading a lore passive as a spell as well? If it is, that still seems broken. That seems vastly, vastly not intended. Anyways, yeah, we'll just restrict it for now because I imagine in an actual tournament people would not like that. Harmonic convergence specifically on Kairos? I guess I'm not enough of a Tzeentch main to really know. So while my gut feeling says I disagree, I don't actually have proper data, so I won't press the issue. I'm ready to be wrong. I've heard some people mention it though, but it's never really caught on. So it can't be OP. Like, it can't be super good, you know? Because when something's OP, people latch onto it to get those tournament wins. With this, it's like, I've seen it a handful of times. I'm ready to be wrong, though. Alright, Resurgence of Harmonic Convergence. It also buffed reload speed. It also buffs reload speed now. It's a nice place to dump an extra 100 gold, yeah. I think Tzeentch has a hard time spending money too, so in a pinch you can just pop it on Kairos, maybe it takes a bit less damage. And you're still casting spells. Tzeentch, as long as you're casting spells, are kind of happy too. I could see it. But alright, Grand Phoenix with Jarix, here we go. They're going to be facing Big Bees, how exciting. Alrighty. Just dealing with some messages, but yeah, we're just waiting for Charix. Good to see Charix playing Lizardman, by the way. Harmonic with Centigores. Oh yeah, with the Tzeentch Centigores? Yeah, I could see that working. Buff spells can be pretty good with them Cav units. Anticity being the army pilot is an OP strat, wins many tournaments. Not Tomb Guard builds. Not Tomb Guard builds. The glazing does not work when when the tournaments don't go well. I really need that mix, you know. The only person who ever dominated tournaments while memeing was Falcon. Falcon was the best player of the Warhammer 2 era. By a very good margin. Alright, just managing some admin stuff. I think the players didn't realize that they were ready to face each other. But yeah, Falcon retired during the Warhammer 3 transition. I tend to struggle with slow macro grindy builds. So the problem with grindy builds is that generally, grindy builds, you have to have a good build. And because I'm kind of just making builds off the cuff most of the time, people who are familiar with the matchup, they will just have better builds than me. And that kind of kills me. It's the reason why my Nurgle doesn't do well. I think if I was given a Nurgle build by Turin, it would be okay. But then it's true. There is also just like the using of the build. I'm just not used to... Like, I'll often make misplays. Just the basic handling of the build, too. So, a little bit of an issue there. A little bit of an issue. Yeah, like playing against Bretonnia, going for the slow build is nice. That one you can do it pretty consistently. Like if you just have the right build, it gets super hard for Bretonnia to win. Because the only way to kill halberds is to shoot them with arrows. So, it's a little sus. Okay, never mind. Alright, here we go. We did it. We did it. Alright, come on. Oh my goodness. This adminning is taking some time. Okay, there we go. Spec slots open. Alright. I just had a funny thing with Charix. He messaged the wrong person. I'm like, I'm not facing you. Look at Outer Regions Nurgle in Turin's last tournament. He brought almost the same Nurgle build in every matchup. Really? So how did that work? How did Outer Region beat let me see. Let me just take a look. You always gotta do a little bit of scouting to stay in top form. Turin. Turin. So you said this was his last tournament? Let me see this. Faction mains arise. SFT. So, oh, okay. Yeah, he went a very popular build, actually, that's been recently going around. It's a Chaos Lord of Nurgle plus Kaizek combo. You get them like some crazy damage reflect. And then you have just like a bunch of Pestigors, a bunch of Marauders, and it's just kind of like a walk forwards type of build. So Outer Region beat Turtle's army, and he was also facing Kane. Doesn't seem like you know, I'm sure the players are good, but it's not like a terrifying lineup. We're not seeing no Charix situation. Also, sorry I'm not showing it, but I still think it's solid though, right? Yeah, it's just a fat line of infantry. Okay. It's kind of similar to how I was trying the Tomb Guard. Yeah, it's very similar to the Tomb Guard shenanigans. And then what? Does he build up? 5-minute no rush. With Beasts of Nurgle. I guess that makes sense. And then you spam the army ability. Okay, I think I understand how he wins it then. Yeah, Mass Pestigors Marauders. Melee Lord and Kaizek to get the sick SC Wombo combo. And then you build up and use the lore passive to heal your entire army when you take the main fight. And because capture points are being taken, your opponent does have to actually try and secure the point, which is kind of Nurgle's specialty. Interesting. Okay. I wonder how this works versus kite play. Because I'll force you to attack a lot sooner, but it's still a very wide, chunky line. I kind of dig it. I could see that working versus a lot of factions. Maybe even like a Grand Cathay. Although Grand Cathay buildup is terrifying. It's interesting. That is, it's like a slightly updated Nurgle build, where a lot of people before, they would kind of, it's just a more refined version of the SE Squad Nurgle build. I dig it. All that. Let's see though. How's it going? Charik's still making his army. Looks like we're seeing Chaos versus Norska. Oh boy. Interesting. The Battle of the Filth. Is Charik's learning Chaos then? Ooh, interesting. Okay. Charik's trying to beat me at my own game. Is he copying my strats? What if he goes to Chosen? Are we going to see a completely different style? Interesting. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's actually going to be Norska versus Chaos. This is a fun matchup, by the way. Usually the way this works is the Dreadmaw. I personally like to skip it. Because if you have a Dreadmaw, you don't have 6 skirmishers. And the 6 skirmishers are kind of just better. Plus the Dreadmaw eats into your Chimera pool, potentially. I kind of like just a 6 horsemen, 2 Chimera kind of playstyle here. Very little infantry, as it's super mobile. Chaos generally has the better... They have artillery. Norska has no artillery. And Norska has the better mobility with Skinwolves. But no, okay. Oh, I dig it. Okay, so Charix is playing Charik style, not Anticity style. Going for the Doom Knights instead. Interesting. So no Chimera action. Still has the 4 horsemen. What a wild build. Apparently an expensive Archaon. I feel like usually you can fit in more horsemen there. Oh, maybe not. Because Archie is... Yeah, no, I think I'm getting my numbers wrong. Crazy, though. Generally speaking, I would say this matchup, I think Charix wins this. Usually, many players do not have the DPS knowledge to kill an army this wide. Look at this. Bearmen, great weapons into the horizon, right? Berserkers, infantry for days. We got some more hunters, interesting, the axe variant. And we got a shaman sorcerer with some 6 spells. And this looks massive compared to Charix. But this is a playstyle that I know very well. It's the kite. It's the mega kite. So he's got the Archaon. He has a Spirit Leech, which is really nice for kite. And no amount of Skin Wolf or Ice Wolf play is going to beat the Doom Knights if Charix micros them correctly. So what I expect to happen is Norska's going to push forwards, capture all the points. And Charix is going to kill them just in time before the tickets run out. But let's see. That's how the game goes. It's the Mountain versus the Viper. If the Viper gets caught, it's going to be a bad time for his face. But this, it is very slow. Charix probably ain't gonna misplay. And it's a very fast push from the Norskins. Look at him go. Blitzing it forwards. Ready to take some space. Charix, though, he's itching to get that value off, right? As the kite player, you want to get... As a kite player against, you know, a Mantide style, you kind of want to get the damage out as fast as possible. You still have to get it in efficiently. He can't waste all your ammo on shielded Bearmen. But he definitely wants to start poking. And you can see, Charix is maneuvering fast. Already got the triple cap, 40 seconds in. Starting to position towards flanks. Overall, very good play. Bomb drop? No, skips it. Goes for the axes. There it is. Ah, look at that. Very well played from Charx. Half HP down on the hunters. The projectile's too slow to threaten the Knights of Immolation at all. And Big Bees is forced to advance. Overall, I'd say this is bad for Big Bees. This is pretty bad. He gets a burning head down the pipe on the hunters. Hits some barrowmen. Not the most cost-effective burning head, but you're not really going to get a lot of value anyways, because you don't have a front line. Surprised we didn't see more spirit leeching on the Lord, but I guess he figures he just wants to kill the infantry. As it stands, though, the horsemen are just having the time of their lives. Pepper in the right flank, Pepper in the left flank. But Big B's very slowly going to begin this point. Now, you might think that Big B's push is actually a little slow. And it is being slowed down, but if they were to just rapidly advance, they run into possibly losing their army faster. So that's kind of why they're a little slower here. I will say, though, Charx is playing this well, putting on a lot of pressure. Hasn't taken a single point of damage, by the way. Except for, I guess, Archaon. I don't know if... I think he might have overcast damage himself, but... This is pretty bad. Double cap for Norska is underway, though. And they are starting to get tickets. So now Charx is going to have to make a play. Either he has to trust in the rapidness of his trading, or he's going to need to take back a point. Now, the Forsaken tell me that Charx is thinking maybe, instead of just going full DPS and letting yourself get triple capped when they move here, I can position my Forsaken to attack whichever point you're not on, so that it's always a double cap. And that way, the game will last long enough for me to army wipe you. Maybe, maybe. Things are going pretty slowly, though. Archaon going in for the kill. Gets the buff, Slayer of Kings. Whiffs the attack on the Lord, though. And now he's stuck in Skin Wolves. Potential misplay from Charx, actually. If Archaon dies here, that would be such a massive misplay, but he has Doom Knights. I'd be very surprised if he just lets Archaon die here. First Doom Knight arrives, right on top of the Skin Wolves. It's anti-large versus anti-large. One has armor piercing, one doesn't have armor. Well, both have armor piercing, one doesn't have armor. Both have anti-large. And there's a final transportation. Pretty big misplay, I'd say. That's actually pretty bad for your boy Charx. Oh my goodness, what a massive final transportation. Jeez. Alright, well there goes 1,200 gold. I was wondering if the Knights would be able to peel off the boys, but that actually went atrociously. Charx, what are you doing? I guess he is no Chaos main, though. This is rather new, seeing him play Chaos. Norska right now, they're just kind of chilling. They got their Skin Wolves hanging about. Kind of just regenerating. As long as they don't get routed off, that's a very good position for them. But Archaon is doing okay. So he does one-shot, basically, Skin Wolf entities. So he's just kind of working them and preventing some of the regeneration. But losing half HP for one Skin Wolf, is that really worth it for Archie? I guess we're starting to see some Forsaken come in now. That's decent. And value trading is not the end of the world. Plus, we're going to get more Doom Knights coming on in. Archaon should have his Terror. Yeah, he causes Terror. So, potentially we could see some routes there, but this is still very slow trading, and it's not even advantage trading. However, if Charx is able to get this point, at least we can go into a long game where potentially some trading can be done. Horsemen can make a lot of plays, Doom Knights can make a lot of plays, but I will say right now they're severely underperforming. These Skin Wolves are actually really good versus them, apparently. Punching straight through that melee defense. And even though they don't have armor piercing, just raw damage output is enough. Plus a little doggy charge on the Doom Knights too. Burning Head, gonna counter the counter. Pretty good damage on the dogs. These guys though, how are they doing? Took a bad fight? Yeah. They're 1,000 value down right now. However, Burning Head plus the Archaon Terror does right off this force. Charx is making good use of their Forsaken. But Big B's holding firm. Very strong build. Still hasn't lost his point. And the tickets are now flipping. Putting a big timer on Charx. And usually if you have a timer, your value trading goes down the drain a little bit. Not feeling too good. Is that a horseman desummon? Oh, okay, desummoning the horseman, horse masters. That's gonna get them back 400 gold, which is pretty good. Desummoning them when they're at full HP like that. It can work out, but of course you do lose out on the capture weight. Might not matter though. Norska losing the middle point, actually pretty decent. Archaon doing surprisingly well. Just an anchor on this position. And maybe with the routes, we can see a little bit of a comeback. What do we got? A little bit of a capture over here. But oh, there we go. Another final transportation just dropped. Now it's a normal cast. You see Archaon though, he's trying to run. Oh, but he only dodges 2 seconds of it. Gets bogged down by the high mass Bearman. And the damage is real. Archaon not looking too good. Definitely. There is an overcast final transportation that will come later this game. And Archaon will not be able to survive that. Hell, he might not be able to survive this right now. Getting charged by the doggos. But it looks like he will be able to escape. I'm just a little worried about that next final transportation. The final transportation. Though, surprisingly enough, is Searing Doom. Alright, Big B's. Big B's is not worried. Big B's does not care about Archie. He's like, screw it, I'll have enough magic in the future. Checks out the Searing Doom to get a little bit of damage on the Forsaken. Now they are down a capture point, which is a little sketchy. But I'm a little worried for Archaon. Look at this caster. Pretty high HP. He is getting hunted though. Archie out for blood. Does Archie have the wounds debuff yet? Hit points less than 25%, yeah. So he's wounded. He's bleeding. And surrounded by ice wolves. I think Charx is just going to lose Archaon, and then from there, everything's going to go terribly. Yeah, Chaos's game plan was absolutely to uptrade. But losing the Doom Knights to those charges just put him in a terrible position. It is an absolute terrible position. I do like Charx's Doom Knight play, but they have a limit on how well they can do. If they're not routing off the unit that they charge, and they get stuck on the Skin Wolves, for example, it's just brutal. And Norska is pretty good at getting units stuck in. Ice Wolves have engaged, Doom Knights disengage. But Hellstriders have to suffer the consequences of that. In the meantime, Archaon, desperation play, goes for the big sniperoo, gets surrounded. Gets a Spirit Leech, but this guy don't care, man. Look at that. He's just looking at Archaon. He's like, oh, you think this giant skeletal hand is going to scare me? Nah, man. He's sticking around. Look at that high Norskin leadership. Base value 70. Archaon gets murdered. And I think Charge just kind of misplayed a few too many times here. Not a whole ton of DPS. I'm honestly surprised he didn't have more normal horsemen. Or he could have used a Dreadmaw to bully the infantry a bit more cost effectively. But I must say, the Skin Wolves definitely make this a very difficult situation to be sure. Archaon bites the dust. And now Norska just has to carry out a victory. They're already ahead. 17 units to 7. Brutal. As long as they don't move their units out of position, I think life is good for them. Ice Wolf's going to be coming on in. Nothing too great, though. Nothing too amazing, unfortunately. Being forced to pull back. But what is Charx going to do here? He has 500 gold. Summon a Hellstrider. I don't think there's anything, man. I see nothing. I see nothing. Desummons another horseman. All right. Another dive in on the Skin Wolves with the Doom Knights. I don't even know with resummons if these Doom Knights are going to get any value, though. Look at that. Just the chonkiness of these Skin Wolves. I guess Doom Knights don't cause... Oh, they cause fear. These guys are immune to fear, though, because they cause fear. There's no terror. That's the real problem. And an actually pretty decent Searing Doom on this guy, too. Shaman Sorcerer is eating well today. And I think we're just seeing the death throes of Charx here. I think if Big B's goes AFK, Charx might be able to win. If we see the complete and utter BM from the Big B's, then yes, he can cycle charge and surround the Bearmen. But with literally any amount of counterplay, it's looking bad. Great Shaman. He's actually stuck in the Horseman. Maybe he dies. All right, crazy win here, right? But the horseman hard target the great shaman. He dies. Archaon comes back in with the steel chair, terror outs everything. Nah. Yeah, regular Doom Knights are not super great. The ROR is pretty cool, but even they just kind of died when the final transmutation dropped. You have to be uber careful with them. 2 and 4, what happened? I tried Tomb Guard. Turns out they're actually a lot worse than I remembered them being. I think Tomb Kings really rely heavily on that chaff spam. Chaff spam plus Ushopti to win frontline fights. Tomb Guard and fewer Ushopti just means you don't win the frontline, which is bad. Charge trying to make some plays over here, nothing too crazy. Oh boy. Alright, well, he's gonna get a pick here. He loses the 3rd point though. Time is of the essence. If you do the math, it's gonna be about 2 minutes before the game ends, unless he captures this point. In 2 minutes, you cannot clear this. Though, a little bit of play. Some Hellstrat is moving on in. Getting caught by the Berserkers, though. Man, oh my goodness. Look at the regeneration, though. You gotta remember, Norska has built-in healing. So the Skin Wolves will actually heal while this goes on. So, yeah, that's not gonna be too good. Although, yeah, there's the heal. There's the heal. So they're just sitting around, farming value just by existing. And we got one Skin Wolf over here, one Skin Wolf over here. And I think Norse is just clean up. They're just cleaning up right now. Searing Doom is not super great versus infantry. But he's just kind of chucking it out to make sure that this point gets secured. Let's take a look at the far side. Yeah, pretty decent. Oh my goodness. Is Charx not going to capture this? If he doesn't, that's just disaster zone. Oh my goodness. And he gets shoved off. He gets shoved off by the Bearman. Plus the Skin Wolves, I guess, and a couple Ice Wolves, but capture is gone, man. That was his one point and maybe pulling it back together. But yeah, Ice Wolves are now on the Marauder Horsemasters. Looking at 63 speed to 95. Crazy speed on them. Skin Wolves are coming on in. Still regenerating, and Chark saps out. Well, congratulations to Big Bees. At Big Bees. Congrats on the win. Well played. Your tournament win will be given in a sec. Alright. GG. Could you give a tournament win, please? Very nice. Let's take a look at the value. Horsemen did okay. They were getting resummoned. They were getting a decent amount of value, but look at this. Charks had 3 Doom Knights. I guess they kind of paid for themselves. This guy slightly underpaid for himself. It actually wasn't that bad. Did he get resummoned, though? I'm not entirely sure. Hellstriders did okay. So he did have more horsemen in reserve, but yeah, that's just not really gonna cut it. I think the biggest misplay, though, is losing Archaon. Archaon took so much damage for free. If he just stuck around a little longer, I think it would have been fine. Maybe even just Spirit Leech the Lord to death. But yeah, Charx does really love Doom Knights, it's true. And they can be quite scary, but if you kind of bring a solid enough counter, like just high damage, they tend to fall apart pretty fast. Mantide wins. Decisively, too. I think it is a very precarious situation, right? This build requires a very high amount of DPS to take down. And if you don't got it, you don't got it, man. It's just over. Charx did have some very nice capture point play, though, but unfortunately for him, it did not do. So well played, Big Bees. I'm feeling a little tired. I need to get some food. So peace out to all of you guys. Thank you very much to all the supporters of the channel. Now, we'll see you guys on Wednesday, maybe Tuesday. That's kind of TBD. It could be another campaign day. We do have some 1 HP challenge to keep doing. So we shall see. Peace.